Alright. Hello, YouTube viewer, Spotify viewer, Twitch viewer. Welcome to the 8th episode of What the Fridge podcast. Now, unfortunately, we don't have anyone new today, but we do have the OGs, Caleb and Reuben. The OGs.
Yes,
You guys are the
here.
baselines, the consistent hosts of this podcast, and I appreciate that.
The example of what a good host looks like.
Yes.
I
I'd say a consistent host, but yes.
Yeah,
Not
not a good
necessar-
host, but a consistent host.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially not
Consistently
me,
average.
due to
Yeah,
what happened
I'll
last
take that.
time.
Exactly. Wait, what happened last time?
Profile pictures.
Oh,
Oh, right, yes. Oh yeah, speaking of, my profile picture, don't ask.
I'll tell the story for him. I basically came to change it. It was
Yes,
I
it
got
was
into
him.
Yes.
I did a profile picture competition. It's like, first person to send me a picture makes that picture my profile picture for the month of November. And then boom, you sent me this. This picture of Greta Thunberg in pink. And I hate it, but I have to do it. So, alright, enough waffling. Let's get into our first topic of the day. So, I've decided to talk about my experiences with op shops. Now, op shops, I don't know if, is this a particularly New Zealand term? Is that an international term? I honestly don't know. But anyway, if you don't know, op shops are second-hand stores. Like hospices.
I think in the US they're called thrift stores.
Thrift stores. Okay, yeah, they're thrift stores. That's a good point. So,
yeah, I think it's just a New Zealand term by search results.
Yeah, you're probably right. So anyway, I've been able to go to an op shop for the first time in months, really, because of the state of lockdown we've been in New Zealand.
because of the unspecified virus of unknown origin.
Yes, that one, you know. I think it's cool. It starts with like C or something, you know?
No, I think it's pretty sure
B?
it's B that starts with.
Oh, Bovid.
Yeah, both.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know the one. So, you know the one as well. So, yeah, it's been quite nice to go to an op shop for the first time in months, and I forgot how great it is because, like, at an op shop you buy things that you never really buy for yourself, but that you would never normally buy in a normal store. But in an op shop you would buy them just because of the sheer value of it. So I guess, I mean, come on, I bought myself a Garfield plushie. I would never buy this if I went into just say like the warehouse or something, or
Which is
Farmers or whatever.
I think we've said this before. The warehouse is basically our general store.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Walmart, but more red.
Yeah. Yes, it's definitely more red. So, yeah, I bought this Garfield plushie. Unfortunately, we're not doing face reveals yet, so I can't show you, but I would never normally buy this, but since it was only $2 in an op shop, and it looks nice on my desk, I was like, okay, I'll buy it. And I bought heaps of other things. I got the Lord of the Rings trilogy, all in one big book. So Reuben will be proud.
I had the same thing when I went to it wasn't an op shop, it was just like a book sale, but I got like one book, a singular book, and it has every Narnia book inside of it for $1.
Nice.
My Lord of the Rings book was $3.
Narnia Chronicles.
I think I might have got ripped off. Nah, whatever. It's $3. And I got heaps of CDs, and what was it? Season 6? Yeah, Season 6 of Family Guy on DVD. Again, something I'd never buy for myself normally, but because it was only $1 at the op shop, I was like, why not? Even though I don't have a DVD player. So I guess the question is, do you two ever go to op shops? And if you do, what are some of the best things you get from them?
The only time I ever went to an op shop was for 3DC.
Well,
that was the 3D printing club, so it has nothing to do with the op shop.
Yes, that I got to go to for about a month before it shut down.
Op shops are fun to buy stuff at. You can when we went to an op shop, often board games will be really cheap.
Yeah,
but then there's always the gamble with our pieces missing and stuff like that.
I never bought. I mean, I mean, the thing is, I can buy CDs quite easily at op shops. A, because they're like 3 for $1, and B, because there's only like 2 or 3 pieces to go missing.
Yeah, like also at op shops, I find that the most expensive thing there, because they'll have records as well. Like there's usually a bunch of cheap records, but the most expensive thing there will be the record player. And it's like not even a good record player. It's like, but it's like $50.
It's like on the verge of being a gramophone.
Yeah. Oh, imagine if we found a gramophone in an op shop. I would buy that if it was.
I would buy it. I mean,
Where's that old radio?
Again, it comes back to the idea that things you never
why
buy
isn't
for yourself.
here? This would be like the perfect conversation for him.
Yeah, I actually saw him at the op shop today. That was
Remember when he got Gravity Falls Journal 3 from the op shop?
Yeah, and the Rick Astley CD. I went to the same. Yeah.
And then he made a replica of the CD, but instead of using Rick Astley, he used Logan.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because Logan's a redhead. That's the joke. Oh. Woo. Ah, funny, random noise funny, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess my philosophy with when I go to the op shop is okay. Let's look for something I never would normally think about buying, and then just buy it. You know, what did I get? I got vintage motorcycle magazines. Like I don't even like motorcycles that much, but I'm like, okay, they're vintage, they're cheap, they're about something cool. So I was like, I mean, it's kind of it's almost an investment.
Sam's gonna start like buying leather jackets from op shops.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, next thing you know, I'll come to Mufti Day at school in like full biker gear.
Don't you already do
like
that?
a leather jacket and like slicked back hair?
No, I wear a trench coat. That's completely different.
Oh no, same difference.
No, what? No, no, it's not the
This is
same.
how to really annoy Sam.
No, but okay. Speaking of which, do you know?
A trench coat and jeans.
Yeah. Do you actually know why bikers wear leather jackets and jeans?
So it doesn't hurt as much when they fall off.
Exactly. It's because if you're wearing like thin clothes, they're like if you fall off, you like get like real bad rashes and scrape all your skin off. But if you're wearing something tough like leather or denim, then it won't, injure you. Which I guess is important, I think.
Yes, I would assume so.
And also it looks cool. That too, obviously.
Yes.
Which is the most important thing of all.
Yes, of all. The practicality doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. It's just looks swag and keeps you safe. That's all. You know. But
yep.
Yeah. Also, I think half of my fashion also comes from my obsession with my what? My fashion. Fascism. Yo, fascism. Yo, that's a cheeky fascism reference there, Caleb.
Anyway, did you know that only 37.1% of our viewers are subscribed?
What? No.
It says here, YouTube statistics, the 62.9% aren't subscribed.
All the viewers, I apologize, but it appears that these two have caught according to YouTube statistics, virus.
Oh,
yes. Almost as deadly, if not more deadly than COVID, so...
It's spreading.
You mean, wait, what's COVID?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. Reuben, where do you live? The Amazon rainforest? Are you making up these things?
Yeah, man, he must be, like, I think he means bovid, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, do you think he's got, like, suffering from spasticism?
Yes, I am.
A little bit.
I actually
If you don't know what that means, it means you're a big spaz.
Did you know that R6 chat blocks you saying you spastic?
Yeah, you can't say the word spastic in R6 chat.
Wait, what? Oh, literally 1984, am I right? Come on.
I know this sounds a bit
This
mean,
is
but
the future the left wants, guys.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to call a teammate that because they shot the hostage.
Was that person Caleb?
No.
Was that person me?
No. But
They
it
were
was
spastic.
random.
That's all you need to know.
Okay, well I did do that once. Remember?
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
We had one teammate that threw a grenade down at the hostage.
But
Yeah, that was Josh.
That wasn't a random.
yeah, what? I mean, he's like a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, so
He's random. He plays with us often.
yeah, true.
Yeah. Anyway, back to op shops.
No. Let's thrive on this tangent. So, what is the weirdest thing you've ever called someone in Rainbow Six?
I do not know.
I don't know, but like, let's talk about chat filters.
Chat
Because
filters.
their chat filter is so scuffed or
It bans
spastic, you
random
could
words.
say.
It doesn't ban other words.
You can say Heil by itself, or you can say the man. But you can't say hi. But you can't say Heil Hitler. You can't say Heil Hitler together.
He said it.
You're gonna have to bleep it out.
Oh no, I actually have to edit.
Ask why I know that.
Oh, but wait, Caleb's on Twitch though. Oh gosh, someone's gonna clip that. Oh no.
Someone's gonna clip
that. I press the button on Twitch that says clip that.
And 8 years from now, when this podcast grows, someone's gonna be like, "Oh, he said Hitler 8 years ago," and then we're gonna get cancelled.
Then you just said it.
Oh crap! Oh no! Now they have two different sources.
At least I'm clean.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just mentioned when you said fashion, I said fascism, and now we're like on it, just like
how do we get back to that? Anyway, chat filters,
fascism
right?
is bad.
So
Yep.
chat filters, right? So if you complain about the R6 chat filter, you've never played Roblox.
Does it filter too much or not enough?
It filters everything. Like half of the chat is just hashtags because it's been censored. I don't think you can say the word cat. Like
I've heard the story from Evolt as well. He said the same thing.
Yeah.
Never played Roblox. I remember the Among Us one before they made Among Us bad by like making it that you can't just type. That was actually not a bad chat filter. Like it blocked a lot, but that's because people were saying a lot.
Yo, is that an Among Us reference?
Damn.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun,
Okay,
dun.
what is the side tangent?
I don't know. But, we must thrive on it. I think this is what our podcast thrives on is these weird tangents we go on.
Yes, that is true.
Like, I feel like the topic of op shops has run dry.
Yes.
When I found out that you two never go to op shops.
I think it ran dry because we didn't have Lachlan.
True.
If we had
Lachlan, we'd be talking about this for this would take up our hour easily.
Yeah.
He'd be going about.
Have you seen any films?
Lachlan and the history of op shops.
A brief history of the thrift store.
And it's like 3 hours long. A brief history.
It would be though. So it'd be nice, but also at the same time would be like, what is the time actually? I completely lost the concept of time since I woke up at 10:30. 3:26.
Wow. You woke up
PM.
at 10:30, my guy.
Yeah.
Bro, what is this? A history of thrift stores in New Zealand.
Oh gosh, we're gonna read an article.
Friday is the National Thrift Store Day.
Friday.
I think this is American.
Oh, cringe.
Okay.
American.
So Friday is, and this was August 17th, 2018.
I mean, as much as I like op shops or thrift stores or whatever you want to call them,
They don't make good conversation.
They came from the 19th century.
What, the day or the name?
No, 19th century was like when thrift stores started appearing.
Oh,
Anyway,
right.
screw thrift stores.
No, not screw them, just don't talk about them, because they're quite boring, as we found out.
Yeah.
So
They're fun
anyway,
to go to,
okay, let's go to, let's say, bad randoms in R6. What do you got?
Everything.
everything, just bad randoms. Randoms do be bad.
Every game has bad randoms, but there are some games where randoms are just exceptionally bad.
Yep. In some circumstances.
There's
like that.
I mean, some
that
randoms
one...
are bad, some randoms are toxic. Am I right?
Yeah.
And some randoms are funny, some randoms
And
just
Richard.
mean.
Oh, do you want me to tell you what happened to us today? Speaking of random,
please.
We're playing the new Golden Gun game mode, right?
Yeah.
And it was me versus 3 others. We were on defense. It was 1v3.
Okay.
I walk into sight, and I was a defender, by the way.
Yeah.
I shoot one, melee the other, and then the third one walks into a frost mat. Now this is a secure objective, which means that as long as you get downed on the objective, the game doesn't finish when you die. You'll just stay downed.
Mm-hmm.
So, whilst the last lion was downed, I spent my time reinforcing the site. It's just me and him alive. Reinforce the entire site.
Oh.
Barricade the doors, and both teams were laughing. Like, just
Yeah, it was amazing. My frost mat placement was unparalleled.
Oh, that's great. I love it when a meme actually goes well in Siege.
Yes.
Like when you win with full shields.
And the quote at the end was, "Site setup always comes first."
That's
It's a downed guy.
That's pretty good.
He started barricading the doors and reinforcing on the walls. Yeah.
Alright, so I think let's create another tangent. So who would like to take our next topic?
I mean, I could.
Paper, scissors, rock.
I'll see if I can remember what my topic was. Oh no.
I just didn't think of a topic.
What? Oh.
He hasn't even thought of one.
Oh my
gosh. I'll talk about teachers. Teachers. So, if you remember in year 8, they would have this award at assembly that one student in each class would get. And for the first term, it was like that student would get like free morning tea or whatever. They'll have like a bag with like chips in it. But like the problem with this was that teachers only decided the thing, like you would literally walk into the assembly hall and you'd see the teachers writing the certificates. Like they only decided 5 minutes before assembly started.
I'm sorry, was this at Kingsway or was this at a different school? This was at Kingsway.
Present to you the system we had at our school called the gotcha system. Right? Thinking from it now, it is the worst system ever designed. Alright. So it takes the top 3 students of each class. I think each class.
Yes.
And then level. If every time you did something nice or good, you get a gotcha. And the top 3 students in every class would get an
award.
So you get an upgraded award. So
so it was
bronze,
the award
then
was
silver, then gold, then platinum.
Yeah, so it was awarded once per term. So if you got it, say 1 term, then you get a bronze award. If you got it another term, so 2 different terms in a year, you'd get the silver award and so on with gold and platinum.
But it would reset after every year, which is really annoying. And then you had the other part of the system. So excluding the top 3, the next 10 would go into the draw to win a chocolate bar.
Yes.
And this is where the system is really poorly designed, because 1, it's random. You could have gotten 4th in the class and not gotten the reward, despite having, let's say, 100 more gotchas. It doesn't matter because it's random, so it doesn't reward doing well. If you're within the top 5 people who do well, there's still a chance that you don't get the reward. On top of that, there's also different teachers would hand out different gotchas at different rates.
So if you're in a because in middle school you'd have lots of different teachers for different subjects. If you had a certain teacher more than someone else, then you'd get more gotchas, even if you didn't.
And also, one of the things was in year 8, our teacher only gave gotchas to 4 students. The whole year, only 4 students actually got gotchas.
Really?
And I was like, I was like best friends, like basically the class pair, and was one of them. And
the other
basically, I was always there helping, and she would just never notice me, and I never got any gotchas.
Yes, The other stupid part of the system is, as a middle school student, what would you prefer more, a badge
Yeah.
or a bar of chocolate?
Yeah, I was just gonna say this because, like, yeah, what's the incentive to actually get gotchas if you know you can
Yes.
probably win chocolate instead?
So not only is the better reward objectively based on a random chance.
Yeah,
if
well,
you
not
get
objectively,
top
but I mean, for
Okay.
most middle schoolers, they definitely take the chocolate. I
So
knew I did.
majority subjectively.
Yes.
But not only is it random, but if you do well, you don't get it. It wasn't handed out to the top 3 and given out to
A random person in the top 10.
yeah. No, it's just
Yes.
given out.
Yeah, the top 3 only got the badge and not any chocolate.
Wait, so this is what you call a badly designed system because it incentivizes them to not do as well.
Yeah. It incentivizes laziness.
This is
In our class,
because
our
you know
teacher
you
was
can just make
lazy.
it in.
She just didn't even give
Because you know you could just
out
probably get a few gotchas and make it into the top 10 and then go into the draw to win a chocolate.
Like,
And it wasn't like just like a little like snack bar.
It wasn't.
It was like a big
full
block of chocolate.
I mean, it wasn't it wasn't the extra large blocks, but it was a
No,
decent sized
It was
block.
not. Yeah, what are the sizes? So is it king size is the biggest one?
I think so.
It was family size. It was it 4x8 or something? Squares? Something like that. But yeah, it was a Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate, so it's nice chocolate as well.
Yes.
It's not like cheap stuff.
What they should have done is handed out the chocolate to the top 3 in every class.
Yeah.
Top 3 in every class, as well as the badge, and then the next 2 or 3, depending on if you want to go top 5 or top 6.
I'd say 4 and 5. 4 and 5 get chocolate.
The next 2 get the chocolate, but not the badge. And then you would have actually designed the system well. And to prevent some teachers from being...
Yeah, because there was no actual system. Like, if you did something like this, you would get a gotcha. Or if you did this, you'd get... Yeah, it was like, it was completely at the teacher's whim. So if you're the teacher's pig, you'd be getting them all the time.
So what they should have done is said, you have to hand out a specific amount of gotchas per week. I know it's not like... It's meant to be a casual system. It's not like ranked.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is, but...
It was ranked, but it wasn't, like, enforced.
That's
what they should have done is say, you have to hand out a minimum of 20 a week and a max of 5 to each student a week. So you can't hand all 20 to one student at the end of the week.
Yeah, well, I think what I would have done if I ran the system was, so I give a teacher a list of things like, oh, if a student does this, they get a gotcha, and if a student does this, they get 2 gotchas. But the thing is, the teachers don't... The critical thing is, you don't show the list to the students, because then the students will just game that system and just do whatever they want to get the max gotchas.
Grind.
Yeah, just get on that Sigma grind set, and just farm gotchas.
I remember, am I allowed to say his name? I assume so. I remember Mr. Grant.
No, you can't.
He would hand out a lot more gotchas than any other teacher, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. No, he also had grant dollars, didn't he?
Yes, that's true.
Were you in his... Caleb, you were in his class.
No, I wasn't.
Class, but not as full class.
I wasn't because I wasn't there in year 7. I was only there in year 8.
Yeah, but I think by the time we got to year 9, no teachers handed out.
Yeah, no, the system was entirely abandoned in year 9.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, my sister's
in year 9. In
my
year
sister's
9,
in middle school right now. I don't even think she knows what gotchas are.
Yeah, okay, year 7 it existed and it was quite prevalent. Year 8 it barely existed. It just nothing happened with it in year 9.
Yeah.
Like
what happened?
I think you got 1 or 2 in
the
year
thing
9,
is, they still handed out the awards, but no one actually.
No one got any.
I know. I mean, I didn't get a single one
in
year 9, as far as I can remember.
Our class only got handed out to 4 people. The teachers' pets. They just all got platinum. It's like, bro. Yes.
Yeah, and some of these people weren't even what you would call "quote unquote" good kids. They were just suck ups.
Yeah.
Like not gonna name any names.
We the people actually know what they're like.
We the people.
Yeah,
what are we now?
They started in year 8. I think they started changing to the certificates, like those certificates that they'd give them, and like every week. And in year 9, with the certificates from like the assemblies, if you got it in the first term, you get like a bag with like chips in it.
Oh yeah, I think I remember. I think they did that in year 6. No, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was in primary school at Kingsway. Remember, Reuben? Where they gave out like a lunch
In
bag to
year
like.
8 and year
I
9,
don't
they
really
did
remember
it.
because I was at primary for half a year, remember, and then we moved up to middle.
Oh yes, we joined it the same year, didn't we?
In year 8 and year 9, they'd have a certificate, but like 99% of the teachers in the year would just like decide like 5 minutes before. They'd just be like, I'm just gonna sit as the people walk into assembly. It's like, who do I
Yeah.
choose? I'll just pick the first kid in my class that walks into the assembly
Yeah.
hall. Like, oh yeah, you good at this week. It's like, bro.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone got a certificate because I remember I don't think there was anyone in my class that didn't get one.
Yeah, what they did was they tried to roster it to give it to everyone. And then they're
Yeah.
like, who doesn't have one yet? And I just didn't say anything. And then finally, at the end of term 4, the last certificate, she realized that I hadn't had one yet. And and the whole class has had 2. The whole class had like 2 each. And I just hadn't had a single one the entire year. And she's like, oh, wait, you haven't had one.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so that makes it pretty obvious that it's nothing to do with what
With
the
actual
certificate's
merit
actually
and
for.
just
Not merit. It's
Yeah.
just I tried
everyone.
hard award.
Everyone's a winner.
Everyone's a winner. Yes, because that encourages people to do well.
Participation award.
Congratulations, you played.
Yes, because that's what encourages people to do well, telling them they are a winner for participating.
Yeah.
This is how society has weakened.
Oh, literally
Yes.
society. Am I right?
Yes.
I agree with you though. This whole everyone's a winner thing is just BS.
I mean, yes, it's annoying when you don't get it, but it makes it
It encourages you to try harder.
it encourages you to try harder, and it makes it more worth
Mm.
when you actually do get it. Like, consider any BR. It takes ages to get your first win. Like me and Caleb, it took us ages to get our first win on
Oh
Apex.
dear lord, don't talk about Apex.
I'm sorry, I'm just pointing this out. But once we got that, because we had played like what 40 games, and we finally got it, and it was like, this is fantastic. We're gonna try again. Of course, we lost the next round, but
Yeah, because we're great.
Yeah.
we either get carried by Seth or a Spitfire from.
Oh, yeah, there was that
Yeah.
one time where I died at like the start, and then you guys won it.
Yeah, because you see, this is why personally I'm an advocate for the NCEA system, which if you don't know it's a grading system we have here in New Zealand in all the public schools.
So rather than going A, B, C,
yeah, it's not
D,
just like
and
if you get 50%, if you get below 50% you fail the year. Well, I guess it is like that kind of. But so basically, if you
you
have
fail the subject and you have to
Yeah.
redo. Do you have to just redo the assessment or the whole subject?
if you fail a subject,
What our system
I don't think
here in
you
New
can
Zealand-
fail a single subject.
No, you can.
It's
I
only if you
remember-
fail the year.
Here in New Zealand, what happens is if, like, for example, I failed English this year, I won't. If I did, then next year I would have to redo English. I'd have to.
Oh
redo
yeah, I
the
think
English,
if you
but
get a
I
certain
can
amount.
still do level
yeah.
3 everything else.
Yeah,
I think it doesn't like matter if you fail like specific subjects. It's for certain ones like where you need literacy credits.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
like you need to do English. So if you fail English or in
Do we need literacy credits next year?
No, not
No.
next year. It's only this year.
you
Oh,
don't
So
need
anyway,
English.
so basically, the reason I'm a fan of the NCEA system is because, like, people
Average
say about it,
NCEA
oh,
fan.
because people say about a lot of people say about the system, oh, it just encourages kids to do the bare minimum and just scrape through with a bare achieved, you know. But no, I think the incentives are really good because if you say because you can get subjects endorsed with merit or excellence, and same with the NCEA level 1 and 2 and 3. You can get the NCEA level 1 certificate endorsed with excellence, which is what I did last year. So which has actually provided a great incentive because I want to get that next year as well.
Hmm. Although one thing I don't like about NCA is the change they made this year. So
What change? Oh, if you resub, you can only get
It
achieved.
used to be if you resub, you could get any mark. Now, the benefit from this was 1, if you fail, you can resub, and 2, if you're like barely at excellence and you've gotten a merit instead, you can up it to an excellence. That's what I think most people used it for.
Yes, by the way,
I
yeah,
had-
the gradings go not achieved if you fail. Achieved is I think 50 to 74%.
Basically a C. Achieved is
Merit, yeah,
basically a
merit,
C.
yeah, yes,
Merit is basically a B, and excellence is basically an A.
yeah.
You can get like plus and minus in their respective.
Yeah, E plus, E minus.
Yeah, so yeah,
So-
one thing I found interesting about like the A B C D E F grading system. Wait, do E grades E exist?
They might,
They
but
don't.
anyway, continue.
So anyway,
They
yeah,
don't know.
one thing I found interesting is about so as far as I know, only A's, B's, and C's are passes,
Yes.
and then F's. So apparently D's a fail as well. So like,
Yes. Did
so
you
what's
not
the
realize
point
this?
in a D?
It's like
It's
a
like
high
a
not
high. It's like
achieved.
a high not achieved. It doesn't matter. You failed. Like,
I mean, if you resub, you can.
If you get an F minus, then you're basically screwed.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
you somehow
anyway,
got a
back to the
negative
whole,
grade.
back to the NCA rework, as I'm going to call it.
A rework. Oh my gosh.
Um,
You're like you're
I-
like a NCEA game developer.
yeah.
Let's go.
I have a personal story from last year. I took business, but because there wasn't enough people in the accounting class, they merged business and accounting. I don't like accounting. I like business. So I had to take accounting for a term. And I can't do accounting. Anyway, I attempted the test the first time after not paying attention basically the whole term, and I failed. But that was basically the mock, okay? I got a friend to tell me how to do it. I did it again, I failed again. Turned out that although I had done it right, mostly right, I had swapped debit and credit over when I was putting everything onto the list. So that one little mistake compounded to be a complete fail, but because I could redo it, I managed to take that up to an excellence. Which is nice, which is what the system was intended for, because it allowed you to actually learn from your mistakes. Now
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
learn everything, or
Yes. I
else you
saw.
fail.
Yeah. It was that
Bounce off
meme you
the
sent.
information.
Yeah. It was like that meme you sent not too long ago. It was like, isn't school meant to be actually learning things and not
Bouncing off
shooting
memorized
up
information.
belting off pre-prepared answers?
Yes, and then it's the man talking to the NPC meme.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing because like in English, I quite like the way we do English tests because basically so you have like different questions that you can answer in an exam. They're always based on similar things, but they're not always exactly the same. So there'll be one question about setting, one question about characters, one question about language features, and so on and so forth. And but the questions, so there's always two parts to the question. So, for example, the one I talked about was explain how characters. So it's a question about characters helped you explore the concept, help you understand the concept of justice. So that's the second part of the question. So they'll always have a question about analyze how characters, analyze how language features, analyze how setting, and so on, analyze how ideas, and so on. But they always have that second part of the question, and they're never the same, which helps you to never. So you can't pre-prepare an answer.
Yes.
At least
Although
you can't pre-prepare an answer and do well. You might
I think
pass, but you can't
I
get
think
excellence or
I think
merit.
all three of us have a story for this, but English teachers cannot infer things.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
What do you mean
Like
Scottish teachers?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay, I have one of my English teacher. She marked my English English for academic purposes essay, which was the worst essay ever. You can't use I, us, or we. No one writes like that. Anyway, she marked it. She said that one of my quotes was missing the starting quotation marks, but she had covered up the beginning quotation marks with her marking pen,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
so
Yeah,
she couldn't see it.
yeah, you showed me that, and I was like, oh, at first I was like, oh, she has a point, but then you're like, oh, she covered it up, and I'm like, oh, that's why.
Like you can read it and you can clearly tell where it starts.
Yes, I
And
did that. Yeah, I was like,
if she had erased the marking pen because it was online, it was a digital document. She could
yeah,
just erase it and gone, "Hey, look, there's the starting quotation marks."
yeah,
But no.
yeah, I had yeah. So, well, in a subject very similar to English, media studies, I had a similar thing with this. So I think it was the first essay of the year, right? So I was new to media studies, and the way our school does it in media, for our school, you start media studies at level 2 rather than you normally would at level 1. So we have to learn very quickly because we missed out on that first year of media studies. So anyway, so I've written this essay. I've written this essay. I did really well, I thought, but I actually failed the first time because I didn't specifically say that these ideas are represented through this, and this convention, this film conventions. So I didn't
You
say
didn't
that word
specifically
for word
say
in my
you applied
essay,
it.
and I failed it because of that. So I was able to I was able to resub it without changing anything. And my teacher's like, "Oh, I can actually infer that," and she gave me an excellence for it. But like, why can't English teachers infer things? That's a core part of language, is to infer things
It's
and
true.
like pick up things that are implied. Like, why can't why are we not taught that? What
Yeah,
it
that's true.
drives me nuts, and
That's
it's happened to me
that's
on more than one occasion.
that's another another point for bringing back the old NCA system, because if they hadn't said actually no, look, we can see actually, if they said actually no, we can't pass you on that, you're gonna have to do a full resub, then you would have completely failed. Oh, you would have only sorry, not completely failed. You would have only gotten achieved. But
Um,
because you were able to show that it was there, if they do what English teachers are supposed to do and read between the lines,
yes,
like
the
they're
whole
able
point of
they're able
English
to
is to
they're able to do that when watching a
analyze
movie.
things.
They're able to do that when we're like watching a
Yeah.
movie or reading a book. They can pull random information from the scene that makes that the author or director didn't actually intend for. Hang on, I have something on randomness.
Oh
That
yeah, I remember this.
Okay,
Yeah, this one
Jonathan says
time.
in media studies we're supposed to talk about in our essay how the invasion of the body snatchers
Yes,
was an allegory for Soviet spies. And he says, again, but the director openly stated that the film wasn't an allegory for that.
yes,
So we're just lying in our essays.
I remember. Yeah, so it was about Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which, if you don't know, is about like alien pods coming down from space, obviously, and replicating people. So these replications of people look exactly the same as the normal person, but they have no emotion. And so our teacher's like, "Oh, this is a representation of 1950s America, which was when the film was made. This is a representation of 1950s America being scared of communist invasion." But Jonathan, who was in my media studies class, he found a document online about the actual director of the original 1956 film, talking about how people thought that that was his intention, but it wasn't. He said, "No, our intention was just to make a thriller, just to make a scary movie, and nothing
Yeah.
else." So we were just, but
So,
like,
so
how many
English
times?
teachers can do that. They can
Yeah,
look at
they
anything and drag information from it that
yeah
isn't supposed to be there, but
yeah.
they can't do that to our own essays.
Yeah, because like if I'm talking about a guy's clothes and what that represents, I'm obviously not talking about dialogue, am I? I'm talking about costume and props. Like,
Yes.
it makes me so mad. Anyway, oh my gosh, it's
Alright, should I move on to my topic now?
yes, I think we should. Yeah, you're actually we're about 10 minutes over time, but I'll allow it because that was a good conversation.
No, we are. We're not 10 minutes over time.
For
Anyway,
that topic.
Off the
yeah,
topic.
for that topic, yeah.
So I was originally going to talk about so I'm going to have to do a little bit of explanation here. I was originally going to talk about game balance because we have a friend who used to play Siege and he just doesn't understand anything about game balance.
hmm
He's like, "Oh, the game was balanced
I mean, we're
before
kind of
based
talking
on
about
skill."
game balance. We were kind of talking about game balance with NCEA, weren't we?
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah,
That needs a nerf.
Yeah,
His
school is a
work
big
rate is
game,
too high.
guys.
yeah.
That is
Gavin
good.
definitely needs a nerf.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, true,
he's
true,
just
And
true.
good.
I was
He
going to
gets
talk
excellence
about
from
that and
everywhere.
try to explain that, yeah, balance because there was a reason they took away Jaeger's ACOG. Everyone here knows why they took away Jaeger's ACOG, but Henny doesn't understand that. Anyway, what I was actually going to talk about is an article I found. YouTube is removing the dislike counter.
Oh yes, this is a
are-
very topical thing. I
So
like this.
YouTube made a tweet saying they're removing the dislike counter, not the button, the counter. And we will no longer be able to see the exact amount of dislikes or the ratio between likes and dislikes. Their reasoning was to prevent mass dislike bombing, especially towards smaller channels. That is the
But
worst
is it
excuse I have
really?
heard out of YouTube.
Yes. Well, it's the
And
same thing as when they removed the ability for channels to when they added rather the ability for channels to remove the comments section.
yes.
I was like, that's not going to help small creators.
Yeah, no.
That's gonna impede small creators because that's less audience
How are they
interaction.
supposed to? Yeah, how are they supposed to know
Yeah.
how to improve? There's a lot of criticism can be bad, but constructive criticism is always beneficial.
Yes, and
And
Yeah.
this all points to the real reason and the larger problem with YouTube as a whole is it's really biased. If you remember back to when, I think it was around January when Biden was elected, they said any mention, any statements that are questioning Biden's victory in 2020
yes,
will be
questioning the
removed.
integrity of elections.
But they didn't do the same thing in 2016 when everyone else was saying the same thing.
It was
And
about Russian
if
collusion.
you say, oh, but it's to protect election integrity, which is what they said, no, you would have done it in 2016, but they didn't. They only did it in 2020, and then they did this removing the dislike counter, which, if you know anything about what the White House, no, how the White House videos have been disliked recently, pretty much every video since Biden took office has had a negative like to dislike ratio.
Yes, and
And it's
I-
very clearly
I mean,
attempting to show that Biden is the most popular president.
yes. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to say correlation does not equal causation, but I mean, it's certainly a little bit suspicious that and it's not just America either; it's New Zealand as well. Like everything our prime minister, Auntie Cindy puts out, it gets one. It
To
always
any
gets
American viewers, we call our Prime
yeah.
Minister Auntie Cindy.
And while that may be right wingers going and just spam disliking the videos, it's still like I mean all the lefties could have done that on Trump's YouTube channel, but they didn't for some reason. Like why did that not happen with Trump's YouTube channel, but why did it happen with the White House channel?
Yes, that's basically the proof. And you could say, but leftists and liberals are more compassionate.
Yeah,
No,
totally.
that's not. I mean, I don't want to cause a fight, but it's not true. Conservatives donate a lot more. They
Yeah,
don't call people racist and sexist just because they don't like them.
conservatives started a page to fund Kyle Rittenhouse's bail.
Which was taken down
Yeah.
by GoFundMe.
Yes, taken down because lefties didn't like it.
Speaking of Kyle Rittenhouse,
That's
he shouldn't have even gone on trial.
No,
I mean, there's no doubt that he was stupid for going there in the first place, but
Yeah.
he didn't
I mean,
break
yes,
any laws.
it does seem a bit stupid to
Yeah.
go there in the first place, but he's well within his rights.
Yes, you
I
can
think.
go there if you want. I mean, there's no law saying you can't go into a riot, as stupid as it is.
Then, do you know what happened? Maybe it was yesterday or the day before, where he went up to the stand and he just broke down because
Yeah, he had a panic attack.
he actually felt bad for what he did. And
Yes.
then
Yeah, then the
the
left
man,
is
the myth, the
abused
legend,
him.
LeBron James.
Oh,
He's not the
I
man, the myth,
hate
the legend.
LeBron James.
He said on Twitter, "Cry me a river. Those tears clearly are fake."
This boy ate lemon heads before going into court. Like,
This is the same man who flops on court to attempt to pin it on the other team and just breaks down all of a sudden on court.
yeah, he's always like a wannabe soccer player.
Or ice hockey.
Or
for
ice
some-
hockey, yeah.
Yeah.
But then ice hockey is a lot more dangerous because you have
True.
like solid pucks flying around at 100 kilometers an hour.
Yes, but you also have a pretty decent amount of face protection. Anyway.
Yeah, true. Well, that's only for the goalie though.
Really?
Well, I don't know about ice hockey, but in normal hockey it is.
Health and safety.
Yeah, only the goalie wears like proper padded stuff. Everyone on the
Y-
field only gets shin pads and mouth guards, and that's it.
Yeah, but that's because of headboxes. The goalie
That-
needs to have a bigger headbox.
Oh my gosh, Reuben.
I am
Maybe
so
in like
sorry.
I don't know, like FIFA maybe. Like
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
And
So
also, people calling Kyle Rittenhouse racist. He didn't shoot. He didn't shoot anyone. All three of the people shot were white.
yeah, it's like everything has to fit the narrative, doesn't it?
Yes. The only thing they can get him on is the fact that he was 17 with the firearm. That's the only thing.
Yes, but then again, he was in the middle of a riot.
And it's still
they-
technically self-defense.
Yes.
And also they're like, oh, why did you shoot them? Why were you afraid? Your gun was bigger than theirs.
It
It's
doesn't
like
matter. This
a
isn't.
smaller
Yeah,
gun's gonna kill you just the
this
same.
this isn't
Have you ever
Siege.
played Siege? I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
yeah.
have you ever played Siege with pistols, one-shot, headshot?
And
Yeah,
You
exactly.
and
can
also
survive shots to the head if it's a pistol. They don't actually. Pistols are really low caliber, unless it's a revolver.
Yes.
Unless it's a revolver, there's a decent likelihood that you survive a pistol, but
like
it's still dangerous.
Yes, it's not like it's the prosecution brought this up. They said, what was it? It was like, oh, the person pursuing you had a pistol and you had a rifle. Why were you so scared? I was like, what? It's a gun.
Yeah, either way, it's a gun.
I don't care if he had a flippin' musket that he had to that takes 20 seconds to reload. It's still gonna kill me if he shoots it at me.
yeah.
Yes.
It's also like there was also the thing where the judge was getting angry at like the
Prosecution.
offense because they were like prosecution, whatever they are, the people who are against him.
Yeah,
Prosecution.
The judge got angry because they were like, oh, he used his right to remain silent when he was
Yeah,
getting arrested.
Which is actually it's common law for
It's the Fifth
decades
Amendment.
in America that you can't bring up the defense being using their right to remain silent as an admission of guilt. You can't do that.
Yes.
It's
So
actually
dumb.
law.
And then I think it was the nephew of George Floyd said that people were videotaping the jurors to get them doxxed. The jury. They were videotaping the jury to get them doxxed.
I don't remember that.
That's
Why?
how serious people are taking a self-defense case. Is that they're actually threatening to dox the jurors.
Yeah, like
Why?
okay. Yeah, it's a little suspicious, but anyway. So back to the dislike button
Yeah.
fiasco. Do you so obviously
You can disable it anyway. You can
Yeah, you can
disable saying
disable
the
it.
likes and dislikes.
yeah.
So,
If people were if smaller creators were actually not liking how much they were disliked,
They can turn
they
off
can
the
turn it off manually. But by YouTube turning it off automatically, they're indirectly
It's got nothing to,
protecting
yeah,
the
because
US
it's obviously got nothing to do with individual
Because
channels, because they can
the
do
U-
that anyway.
the White House can't really just switch off the dislike to like ratio because then everyone will know, okay, we know why they're doing it, but by YouTube doing it, the White House doesn't take the blame.
Yes. And this is exactly what Netflix did. If you cast your mind back to I think it was 2017, 2018. You remember it was
I'm in year 8.
yeah, me too. But you were
Oh,
like
brother.
8 when you were in year 8
Yeah.
because
Back.
because Reuben's unusually young.
Yes.
he's
Anyway.
very smart for his age.
Yes.
I will take that as a compliment.
How could you take that as
How
an
else would you
insult?
take that?
Because I'm young.
All right then.
He's
I don't
anyway,
know.
So when a certain comedian special came out on Netflix, in 2017, 2018. It got because Netflix used to have a 5-star rating system.
Yeah.
So it got the special got 1 starred, so much that Netflix removed the star rating system to protect it. I can't remember it gave it was a really stupid reason, kind of like what YouTube gave. It was like it made an excuse, but obviously it was to protect their big assets.
Yes. Another company that's done that was Rotten Tomatoes or Tomatoes. I don't know. It sounds weird saying Rotten Tomatoes because of the New Zealand accent.
I say Rotten Tomatoes. It's how you say it.
Do you
But
know
Rotten Tomatoes
Eternals got
makes
the
more sense.
worst Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes score
Out of any
for
Marvel.
any Marvel movie?
But
What is?
cast your mind Eternals.
Eternals.
Oh, okay.
Cast
New
your
one.
mind back to when Captain Marvel was released.
Yeah. Casting in my mind back now. You there?
Yeah.
Oh.
But they removed it because they believed that people were basically disliking the movie, but they hadn't seen it yet. But that's not what the rating was. It was the want to see rating. So they removed the want to see rating because people thought that it was being basically mass disliked by a bunch of trolls, which is not what was happening. And remember when there was that whole like James Charles situation on YouTube where his subscribers kept going down. I don't want to talk about the situation, but because of his subscriber count massively decreasing, YouTube removed the exact subscriber value, so you can no longer see it. You can only see it rounded to 3 SF.
Yes. 3 is it? Yeah, 3 SF.
Yeah, 3 significant figures.
Yep.
Yeah. Which, okay, but like, why?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like,
I understand you wanted to protect, but he's not even a small channel. He
no,
was a
he's
big channel. He was 16 million, I think.
yeah.
Maybe more at the time. So that excuse doesn't work, and it's very clear that YouTube does this, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah. Because it's sad because YouTube's it's such a big because like if you want to get popular on the internet, you have to use a big site like YouTube.
Yeah.
Like we do it. As much as I don't like these things that YouTube does, we have to use it. Like what else is there?
What else can you use to get a voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like
the
people
downfall
who
of
used
Western society.
Mixer. People who used Mixer before it was stolen by Facebook.
Oh
Mixer,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Speaking of Facebook, Meta.
Meta.
This is not going to go well for Facebook. I feel like.
No.
I think the idea behind the from what I understand, their idea behind it is soon virtual reality is going to become the main social network, and they don't want to be behind the curve, so they've jumped the gun and gone ahead of the curve too early.
Yeah, cause yeah,
This was poor timing on their part. They are a software company, not a hardware company, so they can't mass produce, as far as we know, they can't mass produce headsets.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure they could pay like I don't know, like Logitech or something, a lot of money to
Produce
get the
like
produce
low
headsets
end
under their own name.
low end
Yeah,
headsets.
that's what happens
that
with
you can
car
only-
companies.
Yeah.
Like smaller companies get the right. No, how does it work? I can't remember. But yeah,
But-
companies get the rights to other companies, and they produce the same car with their own badges.
it's kind of clear that Facebook has done this a bit preemptively
Yeah,
because their whole idea is okay, we're going to rename our company to Metaverse, which in order to be a metaverse, you have to be every company basically
correct.
at the same time. We're going to port everything over to VR, so everything's available in VR, which I'm pretty sure you can already do by
Yeah,
just
just
opening
use.
your browser in VR, which you can definitely already do that.
You can do it on a PlayStation.
Yeah. And
But
they're going to move too far away, and their niche role is going to be lost.
Hmm.
Facebook is not the right company to start a VR social network.
Yeah, because they're not a they're not meant to be a big conglomerate. That's
Yeah.
that's Google's job
Yes.
or Apple's job. Because Facebook isn't an innovator; it's a platform.
Yes.
Other sites like
Oh.
Google, Apple especially are more in the business of innovation. Tesla, like
Yes.
companies
I
like
mean,
this.
didn't Facebook already own Oculus?
Do they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they own Oculus.
Oh well,
I
that
thought
throws my
Apple
whole
owns
argument out the
Oculus.
window. Goodbye.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's owned by Facebook.
Oh, wait.
Meta, it
Reuben,
says.
What?
why did you leave?
Because I said that my whole argument was just went out the window.
Oh,
Yeah, it kind of did.
Anyway, so back to the whole YouTube thing. There's two different types of companies: platforms and publishers. Now, a publisher would be something like the New York Times or BuzzFeed. They control directly what is released on their site, but they're also responsible for it, so they do not have safe harbor. There are other types of companies like Instagram and Facebook, which are platforms, which don't control what goes on their site, but aren't responsible for it. They have what's called safe harbor. In essence, they can't be.
they can't be held. I think it's they can't be held responsible for.
Yeah, they can't be held responsible for anything that happens on their site. Or
Yes.
any. Yeah. But YouTube doesn't seem to understand this. They want the benefits of both worlds, where people are allowed to. Where they aren't responsible for whatever people put on their platform, but they also control what they put on their platform.
Hmm.
Why is Google celebrating fairy bread?
Wait, what?
Are
Actually?
they? Okay, this conversation has shifted very quickly. Fairy bread, you say?
What?
Yeah, I just saw it in the top right corner. It's got
They put a
Google and the
full-on
O's are
animation.
replaced. Yeah.
I mean, it's not something that you shouldn't celebrate. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
mean, why?
white bread.
Anyway, yeah, we should
Yeah,
probably wrap this up because
innovation.
we've gone like 20 minutes over time.
Google's in. Actually, we have 3 minutes left.
Do we?
Yep.
Okay, so you want to spend the last three talking about fairy bread?
Yeah. Well, we could also talk about how Google's an innovator, but why did they pick fairy bread?
We
Yes.
could. It's Western society, am I right?
Western society.
Yeah. Shake my head, man.
Yeah. Or Google should just airdrop fairy bread to like the rest of the world.
Oh yeah,
Not the
that's
Apple
how they solve
airdrop.
world hunger. That's what Elon Musk's 6 billion is going to.
Maybe
Drop
that's why.
fairy bread.
Yeah, maybe that's why
Oh,
we're celebrating
yo.
fairy bread. It's the new solution to world hunger. Instead of Team C's, we have Team Fairy Bread.
Oh, I want to talk about that actually.
Team C's.
Trees. Yeah, Team Trees. Waste of time. I'm sorry, Mr. Beast. It was a waste of time. Most like logging companies cut down more than 20 million trees like
In a
yearly,
year, in a
and
calendar year.
replant more.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
they
Team C's,
literally replant them.
Team C's, what I will say about Team C's is not a waste of time if you're just taking trash out of the seas, like if you go into the middle of the Pacific garbage patch and just clean that
Yeah.
up, that's a waste of time. But if you actually address the source of the trash that's going into the oceans, then that
Which
would
they are. They're
yes,
targeting
they
the
are
rivers.
exactly.
Which is,
If
I
you do
think
that well, then that's a much better operation.
they have two main. I think they have two main vessels that they're using for it. One is basically
Like
has
a
this massive net that spans two ships. It's like almost a kilometer long, I think, and it has this catcher in the back, so the plastic is slowly pushed into the catcher, and they can just empty it out later. And the other one, which you can see in Mr. Beast's and Mark Rober's video, which is the thing that just goes through the water and
Oh, it
just
goes through the rivers and
just Kirby's all the plastic.
yeah. Kirby's
Yeah.
it.
I mean, no, I am wrong. It doesn't really Kirby. It does that. It kind of just hopes
Picks
that
it up.
floats. Yeah. Both systems
One
are
of
a
the-
lot better than what I think. Like Team Trees was pretty much a waste of time. But Team C's might actually do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So-
Team C's is a much more worthwhile operation.
Yeah.
They
If they
could
address the
literally
source,
just
which
go
they
to
are.
logging companies, just tell the logging companies to like replant specific trees and harvest those specific trees and then replant those specific trees. Like
I think I might have said this
like
before.
if they
but
want more natives in New Zealand, they could just tell them
Mhm.
you can plant Remu, cut down Remu. Sure, it takes a long time,
apparently New
but
Zealand
just
has
like
something
dedicate blocks of land for natives. But you're allowed to like harvest the natives if you replant.
apparently New Zealand only has something like 4% of its natural forest left, and it makes it sound really bad. But then you realize, but we replant the trees, so you're counting trees that we've had in the beginning, but not trees that we've replanted.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, that is artificial, but it's still
It
it should still
is,
count
but
if it's
It's
native.
still a forest.
But if they're replanting native trees, which they are, then yeah, that's technically a
Also, I
forest
want
or
to
a soon-to-be forest.
before we go, I want to quickly point out why our government is really stupid. Okay, they are diverting 50% of our water infrastructure to the Maori community, which doesn't make up 50% of the New Zealand population.
I think it's only like how much is it? I think it's like 18%. 18% of New Zealand is Māori,
Yeah,
or at least like less
sounds-
than like more than like
sounds about
1/8. Like I'm 1/16 or 1/32. I can't remember.
Or another thing is, it used to be
5% of the
you used to
national
have to be
population.
1/8 to be
5%.
have 1/8 Maori heritage to be considered Maori.
16.5.
But now you just have to have some Maori
Alright.
heritage, which technically, Sam, that makes you Maori. But
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, like,
That
my
make- it
dad
makes you
could be
com-
considered Māori, but he's only like, I think he's 1/16. That would make me 1/32.
it technically
You prefer
classifies you completely.
Yeah.
But they're diverting 50% of the infrastructure to less than 50% of our population.
Yeah.
What?
I d-
Anyway, yeah, that's
yeah, that.
we should wrap up.
Yeah. Well, that and they gave a lot of money to the mob as well
Yeah.
for some reason. Yeah.
They're
Okay.
like-
Let's wrap up
They're
Yeah.
like a worse version of Robin Hood. We steal from the rich and
and
give
to the poor. Except they don't really give to the poor, do they? They give it to the mongrel mob, which is
We
very
steal
very
from
wealthy.
the middle class.
It's
Steal
just
from the middle
wealthy.
class and give it to the poor.
Yes.
We steal from the middle class and then evenly distribute it between the rich and the poor.
Yeah. Yes.
True. That's
Alright.
true.
We probably should wrap this up.
The middle class are the true victims of Western society, am I right? Shake my
Yes.
head. Alright,
And-
anyway, yeah,
We
Yeah.
need John Key back, honestly.
we do.
He was
Anyway,
the man, the myth, the legend. Or he's
Oh,
Sir John Key now.
Oh, where
He's-
is he? Is he Sir John Key?
Yeah, he got knighted by the Queen.
since when did he
Yo.
become a surgeon?
Alright.
Oh, that
Alright,
was bad.
Nah.
That was bad. Anyway, alright,
Brother was named Don.
donkey. Alright, time to wrap up. So, thank you for listening to the end if you have, of our almost 1 hour 15 minutes, because of our extended time talking about things like, I don't know, NCEA. But what else did we talk
late,
about?
though.
We started
It's only
10
been an
minutes past,
hour and 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Really?
we started 10 minutes past. Yeah.
Look at the
True.
time on your recording.
Good point, good
And
point.
just before we go, some people find us really annoying when they first watch us. But if you don't find us annoying, please subscribe.
Yeah, please remember, only a small percentage of people who watch our videos are actually subscribed. So it's free and you can always change your mind. Oh, and by the way, YouTube sometimes glitches and unsubscribes you. So if you check down there and see a red button, make sure you to resubscribe if you haven't already.
Yes.
Don't forget to turn on the bell notification. And also, this video is sponsored by Dashlane.
Dashlane, yes. Surfshark VPN, let's go. Alright.
Great show.
Yeah.
Next time
Alright.
we could talk about YouTubers.
Oh yes, yes we could actually. That's not a bad idea. Keep that in
Okay,
mind.
anyway.
Yeah.
We will promise not to go on as long as a hiatus because we keep going on long.
We went
Yes.
from game development to Team C's.
Season 2 of What the Fridge coming 2025.
Oh, actually, no, never mind. I'll talk to you about this after the thing ends. So, stay tuned next time because we might have something to talk about next time.
Yes, something
Maybe.
actually
That
worth
the
your time.
viewers- That the viewers might find very interesting for their own.
Whenever that
video
actually happens, because we don't know when we'll be back.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
Alright.
terrible at
And we're
organizing
not.
these.
We just keep going on with this one. We haven't. We're just gonna. Yeah. We said
Yeah.
we're gonna stop it. And we're just
Hopefully.
not stopping it.
Yes. Also, this is going to go on Spotify, but only until we finish season 1. So, yeah. Goodbye. And hopefully
Maybe
we'll
Apple
talk again
Podcast.
soon.
Bye.